Hi everyone, today I am here with the topic spherical mirrors and its image formation. So we are very familiar with the word spherical mirrors. We studied about the plane mirrors earlier. Now we are going to see what is spherical mirror. Spherical mirrors are the part or it's like a mirrors which also one side is coated with silver oxide or mercury and it's a part of hollow glass sphere. Just consider this ball as a sphere. Sphere means you know what is sphere. So just consider this ball as a sphere. If we are taking a part of this sphere like this way, this part is actually we are using it as mirrors. So one side, either this side or inside will be coated with silver oxide. So on the basis of which side is coated, whether the bulge side or the curved inside, we can divide the mirrors into two categories, concave mirrors and convex mirrors. So concave and convex. What is concave mirror? The word cave, we all know that. What is the meaning of cave? Cave. So just consider this caved part or inward part. So if this inward part is the reflecting surface and the other part is coated with silver oxide, we can call it as concave mirror. So concave mirror means, keep that word in your mind, cave. So that caved part is reflecting surface. The other one is convex mirror. So this bulged part or outward part is the reflecting surface and the inside part will be coated with silver oxides. So if you keep these things in your mind, you can easily remember the difference between concave and convex mirror. If you want to study much more about the spherical mirrors, we should know some terms related with that. We'll see that. So now we will see the terms related with the spherical mirrors. So our first term is center of curvature. We used to represent center of curvature with the letter capital C. Okay. Consider this as a spherical mirror, entire sphere, and the center. What is the geometrical center of this sphere? That is actually the center of curvature. Or else we can define the center of curvature in such a manner that it is the geometrical center of the sphere which the mirror is a part. It's the geometrical center of the sphere which the mirror is a part. Next one is radius of curvature. And it is represented by the letter R. Same way how center of curvature we defined, we can define the center of curvature. It is a radius of the sphere which the mirror is a part. And our third one is aperture. Aperture of the mirror means, if we consider this reflecting part, the entire reflecting part is actually called the aperture of the mirror. For convex mirrors, it is the outward part, and for concave mirror, the inward part. The entire reflecting surface is called the aperture of the mirror. Now we have pole of the mirror. For this reflecting surface, the geometrical center, I am just marking here the center, for this entire reflecting surface, what is the center? That is actually called the pole of the mirror. And we used to represent this with the letter, this one with A and this one with P. Our next term is principal axis. So principal axis is an imaginary line which is passing through the center of curvature and the pole. With a diagram I will show how it is. Consider this as a concave mirror, and if we can make it as a continuous line, we will get a circle-like shape. Just mark a center of curvature here as C. And for this reflecting surface, we have the center, that is our pole. So this is P. The line which is passing through the center of curvature and the pole, This is actually principal axis. So principal axis is the imaginary line which is passing through the center of curvature and the pole. So these are the main terms we have to consider as in the case of spherical mirrors. Now we will see how the reflection as in the case of spherical mirrors. In plane mirrors we studied that when the ray strikes on a plane surface, it strikes back to the same medium by following the laws of reflection. In the same way as in the case of spherical surface also, it also follows the laws of reflection. Let's see how it is. Just consider a concave mirror. Okay, a concave mirror. We have to mark center of curvature and pole. Just consider this one. Okay, and we can take any ray which strikes on the mirror. Just consider, I am just drawing us here. This is the point where it strikes on the mirror. So we studied that in the case of plane mirrors, when a ray strikes on a point, on that particular point we have to draw a normal. So here, as in the case of spherical mirrors, what we are doing is that the normal should pass through the center of curvature. So to each and every point we will get a normal. If we consider the center of curvature means the center of the sphere, and to any point if you consider this 360-degree angle, to any point if we draw a line, it will be make a perpendicular to that point. So we are making a normal, or we have to draw a normal that should pass through the center of curvature and this point. So this is our normal. So if this is the angle, incident angle I, the same angle should make with this center of curvature or this normal, and it has to reflect back. So these two angles will be equal. Angle I will be equal to angle R. So this is what happens in the case of concave and convex mirror. We'll see how we have to draw as in the case of convex mirror. Just see this as a convex mirror. So this also will be having a center of curvature here and pole. So this is the line which passing through that. Just consider a line strike over here. We know that after the reflection it has to reflect back to same medium. At this, from this point, draw a line to the center of curvature and see what is the angle makes. So it makes an angle like this way. So this is the way how the reflected light will move back. So this is the way how we have to draw the reflected ray as in the case of spherical surface. And when we saw some terms related with the spherical mirrors, and we have to see two more concepts or two more important terms, that is a focus point. Focus point, or we can call it as focus. We can call it as focus. Okay. And it's always represented by the letter F. Focus. What is focus? The rays which is parallel to the principal axis, after reflection, when it comes and meet at a point on the principal axis, that point we used to call it as focus. I'll show with a figure. Consider this as a concave mirror and pole, center of curvature. Just consider few rays falling parallel to the principal axis, and it follows the laws of reflection. I am not drawing the normal and all. And after the reflection, all these rays will come and meet at a particular point on the principal axis. So this point is called focus point. So after the reflection, these rays will come and join or intersect at a point on the principal axis. That is called focus. If we see in the case of convex mirrors, it appears to come from a point or it appears to meet at a point. We'll see how it is. So these are center of curvature, pole, No, parallel rays are coming over here. Then this is a reflecting surface. So after the reflection, it has to reflect back. All these rays has to reflect back to the same medium. When we extend these lines, all these lines will come and join at a particular point on the principal axis. So always the extended lines should be in a dotted way, or always we have to draw as a dotted line. So it appears to come from a point, or all the rays, the refracted rays, we feel like it is starting from this or it emerged from this point. So this is a focus as in the case of convex mirrors. Our next one is focal length. So focal length means the distance between pole to the focus, or the length between pole to the focus is called focal length. This is always represented by the small letter f. And we cannot always tell that always the incident ray will be parallel to the principal axis. Then how can we find out the focus? That we will see that. Consider this a concave mirror. Draw the principal axis, pole, center of curvature. Whenever we are drawing a picture, we have to mark center of curvature, pole, and one side coating. Just consider some rays like inclined rays or slanted rays falling on the principal axis like this way. Then after reflection, it will come and meet at a point. So this is just consider this is our original focus, and the slanted lines or slanted rays after the reflection joined at a point. So if we draw a line which is passing to the focus and this one, we can consider it as a plane. We used to call it as focal plane. So any rays, any kind of rays, inclined rays or any rays after the reflection, it will meet at a point on the focal plane. Anywhere in this plane, we cannot always say that always it will be on the focal point, but it can be above the focal point or below the focal point, but always it will be situated on the focal plane. This will be the same case for even convex mirrors. We'll see that too. This is the focus, and we feel like it came from another point in the same plane. So we used to call this plane as focal plane. So these are the main things we have to consider when we deal with the spherical mirrors. Thank you.